The
Hi, this
views
is
and
Derek
opinions
Peterson, and
provided
you are
on this
listening
show
to the
are for
Passive
informational
Investor Show.
purposes only and should not be misinterpreted as an offer to buy or sell any securities or to make or consider any investment or course of action. For more information, please go to passiveinvestorshow.com. Hey PI listeners, this is John Fortes. I'm making it a point to speak to as many investors as possible. My goal is to position myself to be a blessing to my network through conversation. How could one be a blessing through conversation? The easy answer is by listening. A simple conversation can open many opportunities and doors. I always ask myself this: what do I have to lose by having one more conversation? Going back to high school, I've connected friends and family in my network to one another, even if it didn't benefit me. And I continue those same principles and practices. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. If I can't help you, I probably know someone or something that can probably solve your problem. I'd love for you to become a part of that network. Go to www.johnfortes.com, create your investor profile, and schedule a call. How can I best serve you through conversation? In the words of Clarence the Angel from It's a Wonderful Life, no man is a failure who has friends.
And now, the Passive Investor Show. Here's your host, John Fortes.
Welcome, PI listeners, to the Passive Investor Show. I'm the Passive Investor Consultant, John Fortes, your host of the only ranked podcast for passive investors in multifamily syndications and real estate funds. Our goal and purpose of this show is to be a resource to investors and help them master their passive investments by beating inflation 1% at a time. Just in case you didn't get enough of Derek Peterson, we brought him back for one more episode. You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our infamous Quick Hitter series. Derek, welcome back to the show, man. It's great to have you again.
Thanks, John. Love to be back, man. Thank you.
Derek, can you help us understand the importance of having an online presence?
Great question. And I'm going to speak in context as it relates to obviously the syndicators and those looking to raise income through having a digital presence. So I'd say there's three things. First thing would be very simply social proof. So what is social proof? And I'll kind of dive into some of the aspects of that. So we live in a digital age, right? If you just walk around the streets, go in the grocery store, walk around the mall, I'd gander that about 70-80% of people are walking without looking because they're staring at their phone, right? So the attention of individuals is captured by these boxes, whether it's the box that sits on your desk, the box that's hanging on the wall, or the box that's in your hand. It's a great place to, since the attention is there, right? It's in the phone. This is a great place to deploy you as an individual and you as a leader in your space or you as a business and start to create a presence, right? When people look you up and they want to see what you're all about, they need to find something. You know, they need to see something. They need social proof. They need to know that you exist. And if you don't have an online presence, if you don't have a website, I mean, how many businesses of people try to look up individuals online? They don't have a website as a business, and you're kind of like, they don't even have a website. You know, a ridiculous notion or not, it's just the world that we live in. It's important for you to have that on there. For social proof, it's also a great place to start to develop your digital reputation, right? So people will Google you. So when you have a website, when you have a platform, when you have your name out there and have an online presence, when I type in John Fortes, right? Or I type in Derek Peterson, assuming I didn't rob a convenience store or something like that, and we don't have anything like that pop up, you're going to have things pop up that I was on your podcast. I was on this podcast. Oh, here's my website, or here's this blog article that was written. And you're going to flood the feed with stuff that's going to help develop your digital reputation. And all these things around social proof have one goal, John, and that's just to develop trust, right? If I Google you because I heard you on a podcast and I'm interested in investing with you and your opportunities. If I Google John Fortes, I want to see that, oh, wow, this guy's all over the place. Whoa, he really knows what he's doing. If I find nothing, going to be a little suspect, right? Second reason why it's important to have, an online presence it's a much larger audience, right? So a lot of people, I speak to a lot of investors and say, hey, I've got an email list of 175 people. And I go, so what? That's a very small audience. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet. And how are you going to reach them all? It's by having a digital online presence and developing a platform on that presence to be able to reach out to those individuals, show them what you got, show them what you know, develop that trust. And you can really spread your wings into an audience if you have a digital presence. If you don't, it's you and that 175 person email list or people that you meet at the local social mixer in order to bring on investors. And then the last part, I'd say the importance of having an online presence would be accessibility 24/7, right? So if I'm just somebody that just has a phone or an email address or as a business or as a syndicator, and I don't have the ability to be able to deliver you knowledge and to deliver you value on off hours, then I'm only accessible during the time I can reach John. So if the only time I can learn about investing with your opportunities by speaking to you, John, you sleep, you do other things, you have a family, right? But if I can go to your website and get all of that download right then and there, that makes you more accessible 24/7, makes your knowledge more accessible. I can listen to your shows, you're more accessible. If you don't have a digital presence, you're not as accessible, right? And it's harder to access your brain and to access your knowledge to be able to make a decision whether or not I want to work with you. A lot of people scour the internet in the wee hours of the night, and I may go to your website and click that call to action button and decide I want to have a meeting with you. Now, if I had that impulsive moment at 3 o'clock in the morning, I called your phone, you're probably not going to answer, and then I may not be interested anymore. But if I go to your website and I click it and I fill out a form and I get an automated email afterwards, like within seconds saying, hey, I'm really excited to have our call the next day, then you've created and made you more accessible to, as far as being able to be contacted. So those are probably the top 3 reasons. It's a quick hitter. So I want to hit you with the quick hits on what those are. So those would be my top 3, John.
Man, thank you for sharing that. And I really want to kind of help people understand that if they're a small investment firm and they do have that list of 147 people, focus on that list and let your content spread your message throughout the world. Don't focus on that 7.2 or whatever billion people in the world, because now you'll lose sight of the people you already have a relationship with. So that's kind of what I wanted to say with that. Make the content, put it out there. And as they start coming and being a part of your world, now you start to focus on them. And a lot of people want to focus on the outside world instead of exactly what they have. And that's something that I practice that philosophy. I focus on everybody that's under my umbrella. If they are under my umbrella and being served right and properly, they will most likely want to continue further. I'm not going to focus on people that I have no relationship with until they come through the funnel. But the content that I'm putting out there is allowing me to build that relationship when they do come under the funnel, under the process, under the umbrella, however you want to name it. It's just building on that. Build on what you have, not what you don't have. Thank you for sharing that, man.
No, thanks again, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Nah, man, how can we stay in touch with you?
So one of the greatest ways, again, just go to the bottom of your website. You can click the link where it says website proudly created by Adapt Media Agency. It's kind of buried in there. So you can visit our website. It's adaptmediaagency.com, or just email me, Derek at Adapt Media Agency, or hey, just ping John. He'll connect the dots as well, get you in contact. So lots of different ways to find us. You just Google us as well, and we'll pop right up. If we don't, I'm not doing a good job as a marketer.
Great point. Thank you for stopping by today, Derek. We really enjoyed the conversation. Don't forget to download your free copy of the investment tracker. It allows you to track up to 5 investments, compare sponsors, markets, and most importantly, projected versus actual returns. To get your copy, go to www.projectedreturns.com. PI listeners, thank you for listening. As always, we hope this was the best resource for your investment strategy, but also the best use of your time. Remember, if this episode helps you, you can help us by leaving a review on iTunes. I hope you feel compelled enough to share it with someone you think this would resonate with as well. As much as it pains us to leave you, but you know what time it is. Time to go put this into practice. Till the next time we meet, happy investing. PI listeners, I'm grateful for your time and I appreciate you for listening. It would mean the world to me if you went to iTunes and left a rating and written review. Let me know how you feel about the show. It really makes a big difference with getting the podcast out there. Don't forget about our Facebook group, where all of our guests are members of. I'll be there to answer any of your questions, or even questions you might have for future guests. Subscribe so you can get the latest episodes and our fan favorite quick hitters. Finally, I want to keep you updated, so head over to johnfortes.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with me, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to me directly. I look forward to connecting with you. Happy investing.